Same thing.
Yeah, all that was missing was the six-pack of wine coolers when you walk in.
Mr. Wiener, why don't you have a seat there? Why don't you talk to me for a little while?
I was going to teach him a lesson that they shouldn't be on Twitter.
Yeah.
The transcript says you were here for sex.
Yeah, I'm actually working with you, Mr. Hansen.
Sax, I teach music.
I was just doing this because I knew other people were preying on this girl.
Yes.
And I wanted to keep her safe.
No, I would say the Pete Townsend defense. You know, this happened to me, and I'm doing a book on it.
Yeah. All right, I do want to talk about the thing I'm most upset about this and the whole Wienergate thing. Michael, can we put up that picture of Wiener?
Yes.
Yeah.
So he sent this out with the caption, "Me and the Pussies," which is bad enough.
Oof.
But he spelled pussies P-U-S-S-Y-S. Come on.
Where's the outrage?
You're a congressman.
But Andy,
You can't spell?
Yeah, but I know you have a problem with the fact that he spelled the cat plural wrong.
Yes.
But go back to the picture. There's nothing. It's the look in his eye that's creeping me out. He's like, you know what's coming next. You know what I'm showing next? Right now, I got sweats on. I got sweats. You know how quickly those sweats come off?
The worst part about that picture is he's one of those types of dudes who you can tell what he looks like when he's going to be really old and still making that impression. Can't you see him like outside in some sort of deli, just giving like people walking by that look in 30 years from now? He's like, you know, kind of mumbling to himself. I know what you're going to look like, old Wiener.
Doesn't he look like he should have a thin mustache?
Perhaps.
His face looks like one of those like masquerade ball masks from like 1300. You know, like if it was just painted black.
We're kind of like falling apart here into just making fun of his face.
Yeah.
How did this happen? We went from a scandal to making fun of his face. How did that happen, Andy? Because he deserves it?
Maybe his face is the scandal, Greg.
Until Breitbart puts out that last picture, it's all we got.
Just quickly on this teacher punching the student thing. Anthony, if you ever got in a teacher's face like that, what would have happened to you?
Years ago, wow, my father would have beat my ass.
Yeah,
because that's what happened in the old days. And then we would have sat down with some beer and whiskey.
Yeah.
That was the old days, too, drinking with Dad.
Yeah, my point here is that the people who should have been arrested here are the parents for sucking.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Wow. I feel sorry for the teacher.
Bold statement.
Yep. I'm done.
All right, Andy, I'll see you later.
Okay.
Coming up, what do you do when a servant makes accidental eye contact? We discuss Imogen Lloyd Webber's new book, Servants Aren't Human, Are They? No? Well, is he the world's greatest dad or the world's worst dad? Trick question, I'm naked. So we had a little incident here. Imogen has food poisoning, so she had to leave. So, in a sense, we're one engine down, to use a nautical phrase.
Yes.
Yes.
Want to feather the props.
Yeah,
We're going to bring it home, though.
So, Imogen, if you're home right now watching this, I hope you feel better. See, it was tuna sushi.
Yeah, and unfortunately, none of it hit the glass table. It would have been a red-eye moment, Greg.
It would have been. In fact, yes.
Especially if we had Andy underneath it.
Oh, fantastic.
It would have been great.
All right, to a story, shall we?
Indeed.
Well, he took a barrage from a furious entourage. I speak of a West Point cadet who was suing Patti LaBelle, her driver, and 3 bodyguards. Richard King, seen here in the bottom in the yellow shirt, says he was assaulted for standing too close to LaBelle's luggage at Bush Intercontinental Airport in Houston. The lawsuit alleges King was on a cell phone with his back to LaBelle's luggage when she told her bodyguards to rough him up. He took a few punches to the face, fell, and hit his head on a concrete pillar. Ooh. But the worst part of the whole thing, after King was taken to the hospital, Houston cops took turns posing for pictures with LaBelle right next to the pool of blood belonging to Richard King. King has been temporarily suspended from West Point, so let's discuss the whole thing in Lightning Round.
Lightning Round.
That sounded just like Imogen before she left. Anthony, they said the kid was drunk, but should it matter?
No, that shouldn't matter. And the cops taking pictures next to that. I mean, it is Patti LaBelle. Come on. That's a Grammy winner, multi-Grammy winner.
You can forgive them for that. You can forgive them for that.
Yeah.
Jesse, it killed me. What was worse, the bodyguard? I'm a big cop fan, and I say that because I get pulled over. Bodyguards or the cops were worse?
Patti LaBelle is the worst.
Yeah.
She's like Kim Jong-il. She just sat there like, hurt them. You know, like, it was like, who the hell do you think you are? Like, I mean, you know, in fairness though, I know she like ordered the hits. She had to have, because if you look at her face, her nose, she knows a thing or two about getting punched in the face. She looks like Ving Rhames playing Sonny Liston at the end of Phantom Punch.
You know, I cannot believe that she's. Wasn't that first song by LaBelle like 1975? Like, remember the one?
Camptown Races?
Lady Marmalade.
Yeah.
That's a long time ago. I mean, unless this is an offspring of LaBelle.
She's had some recent stuff, but I wouldn't know it.
Who cares?
I'm heterosexual.
Bill, I wish that was you instead of him.
Well, that's A, not a question. B, terribly not nice.
Yes.
I think Patti LaBelle's the only real hero in all of this.
Really?
Because first of all, she teaches that guy to mind his manners. Second of all, she is so supportive of our boys in blue that even though there was blood that she could have easily spilled over on, slipped on with her little big high MCs, she poses for picture after picture. Not looking at the blood at all.
I believe this is the nadir of modern culture when a cop sees a celebrity and sees the picture with the celebrity more important and perhaps bigger than doing his job, which is a great job, a police officer, but somehow getting a picture, it's the fact that we've elevated celebrity so much that this poor cadet's injured and he's getting a picture taken.
Yeah, you do hear TSA always saying unattended bags, you know, keep an eye on them, and I guess that's all they were doing, really. Don't know who that guy was.
All right, a Utah man / best dad ever is making headlines for his unique way of sending his son off to school in the morning. For the past year, Dale Price has dressed in a different costume every day as he waved goodbye to his son's bus. Love that one. As you can see, the costumes range from the great to the flat-out tremendous. Said the 16-year-old son, quote, "I'm not going to reward him for this. His reward is seeing my embarrassment." You gotta love this dad.
That is the best one.
Not in that outfit.
Oh, that is
come on.
That's a solid B cup.
That is
Mermaid.
amazing. That's amazing.
Oh, now I'm feeling lucky.
You know, I didn't know the kid was 16?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I thought maybe it was a kid that he needed to, you know, send off to kindergarten so he wouldn't cry. 16? That kid's never getting any. Never.
Or the women think his dad is so cool that they'll always come over and then he'll get lucky. Jesse, you've got to be. He did this for 170 days. That's dedication.
I guess. I just think that there are a limited number of costumes that you can wear if you were a one-legged Mexican guy, and Batman is not one of them. You know, it's just like, I can suspend my disbelief so far, but it's like, all right, you want me to believe that you're Princess Leia, but you're also a one-legged Mexican dude playing Princess Leia? Like, listen, all I say is, like, if you want to do a superhero thing, why not the Gangrene Lantern? Or maybe
terrible.
Ampute Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
Terrible.
Like that, huh? What do you think,
I admire this guy. This guy has an amazing sense of humor. Doesn't he run, what does he run, a business? He's like a paintball place, right?
Yeah, and he calls it peg legs. Like, he has a good sense of humor about the fact that he has one leg. And he even makes some reference to being a father and a kickstand on his website. Like, I actually dig this dude because I think he's funny about it.
He's pulled himself up by his bootstrap and made something of himself.
Bill,
bootstrap.
Bill, you own about half of the same costumes. Where does one get a mermaid outfit like that?
Oh, I make them all mine, first of all. Shame on you. It's part of the creative process.
Yes.
Second of all, before they call child services on this guy, maybe they should find out what this kid did to deserve this. I gotta think, this guy did not just come up with this on his own. Oh, I'm gonna torture my poor 6-year-old son who's probably got a face full of acne anyway. Hey, this kid did something awful to deserve this, and I want to find out what it was.
I think this is the father showing his love in a strange and twisted way.
And now we've made it worse.
Yes, it's somehow, yes.
Sorry,
on national television.
All
Sorry,
right,
kid.
I'm going to look over here. No, I'm going to look over here. Time for another break, and remember to check out the new Red Eye podcast. There's a new one every day. To catch them, go to foxnewsradio.com and click on Red Eye. Tonight we talked about Andy's cats. Finally. An activist group is planning to protest a U2 concert in the UK later this month, but not because of the crappy songs. The group will hoist a sign reading, "Bono, pay up," which refers to the band's decision to move their music publishing business out of Ireland to avoid a boatload in taxes on record sales. Imogen.
Yes, Greg.
Shouldn't they be protesting Ireland, whose heavy taxes caused U2 to leave?
Fundamentally, you Americans are a great
culture. But one thing you have to understand is in order to pay, you must give. And you have to give a lot of taxes where I live and at a little place I like to call Ireland as well.
Yes.
It's so pretty when you get angry
Thank
like
you.
that.
And stop looking at me cleavage.
Me clean. What is this, Mary Poppins?
I don't know.
Pip, pip.
Anthony,
Yes, sir.
isn't Bono a jerk for pretending to be a liberal when he's really a hardened capitalist who doesn't believe in massive taxes just like everybody else?
Exactly. I've always appreciated U2's music, but Bono's politics, right out the window. This guy, I see him as a hypocrite. Yeah, all this charity and helping out the world, and then he looks and sees they're taking a big cut. Get out of there. I wish I had a place to go. You know the money they take from me, Greg.
Oh, I know.
It's crazy.
I know.
And I mean Ireland.
I know.
all the Guinness I drink.
Jesse, do you feel bad for Ireland?
No. So what? Who cares? Ireland is number 43 of the top 50 world economies. I had to look that up. It's not off the top of my head. But I did find that out, right? So I'm sure there are poorer people in Ireland, but it is not 1850. Your potatoes are no longer poisonous. You guys will get by without Bono. Like Rwanda is a country that Bono helps out. That's 138,
Yeah.
right? Like you guys are not a poor people. Besides, you still have your pots of gold.
That is true.
Aye.
Bill, you were the original Edge before they kicked you out of the band, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was it because you refused to wear the headpiece?
No, after a close inspection, they realized that instead of the Edge, I should be called the Crooked.
Oh.
And then they decided that they'd move on with someone cooler. I will say this, I don't understand what this is. Like, they don't work there. They don't work there anymore, so what taxes are they paying? They're asking for something that they haven't earned.
Yeah. No, it has to do with, it's not about working, it's about your residence. You pay where your residence is. That's why, like, rich people move. Like, there's like the 3-month rule where they'll live in New York City for 3 months, then they move to Canada for 3 months, then they move to England for 3 months, and you have like Keith Richards, you have Mick Jagger, all these guys. So few of them stayed in their home country because it was up to like a 90%
That's
tax.
insanity. Can you get a residence in Antarctica? Because the tax is probably very low there.
Guar lives there.
Does Guar live
Yeah, Guar lives
Well,
there.
that's where they landed.
That's where they landed. All right. We're going to close things out with a post-game wrap-up from TV's Andy Levy. To see clips of recent shows, go to foxnews.com/redeye. You can see Andy on the Willis Report Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern on Fox Business Network. Coming up tomorrow on the next Red Eye, we got New York Observer contributor Data Vachon, Barrett Swatek, New York Magazine's Chris Rouser, and Andrew Breitbart. I say we have Andrew Breitbart because he said he's coming on, but we don't know that yet. But I think he's coming on because he owes me.
He does owe you.
Yeah.
He owes you everything.
He does.
Yeah.
you got pictures of him?
Yes. Oh, I do.
Oh.
Jesse, you got shows coming up?
I do. I'm at the Deja Vu Comedy Club in Columbia, Missouri, the 8th through the 11th. And then that movie, Stags, that I'm in, is premiering in New York on the 24th of this month.
Excellent.
So go to stagsfilm.com.
Cool.
Deja vu. I think I've been there before.
Anthony, any after show plans?
I got the Casey Anthony trial DVR, so no spoilers. I don't want to. Did she lie again? Is that what happened? She's totally my type. White trash, lying psychopath. If she wasn't on trial for her life, she'd so be in my jacuzzi.
Terrible.
It's just my type. It is terrible. I go for that, though.
Terrible.
Awful.
Awful. But she's a bad woman.
She is.
Yeah. All right, back to you, Greg.
That's it?
That's it.
All right.
I was told I had no more time.
Imogen, you okay?
I'm quite good, Greg. I think after my last vomiting session, I feel much better now. And quite thank you very much for asking me. Follow me on iLloydRev on Twitter, everyone. Cool.